What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Theta network. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. You guys, I seriously have no idea why people are not talking about Theta network right now. There's a massive falling wedge on this coin, on the daily candlesticks. The second that we break bullish out of this wedge, a whole bunch of momentum that's been building up throughout this wedge as it's been going down in price is going to be released, and we're going to see a lot of money coming into this coin. Now, of course, you guys, I have to say it, the market can do whatever it wants to do, of course, but these trading patterns give you a lot of confidence in what's going to happen in the market. And that confidence happens because you've seen them do the same thing over and over and over again. And when we have 5 waves up here and a perfect ABC correction inside of a big falling wedge pattern, I've seen this over and over and over again in crypto. And the breakouts are massive. You always get massive breakouts as a result of these patterns. So long as we can break above the resistance of the pattern to actually confirm the pattern, we're going to get a huge breakout here on Theta on the upside, taking us back up above these local resistance levels. So let's talk a little bit about local resistance. So our first area of resistance is about $1.65. Then our next area of resistance is about $2.54. And then our highest level is about $3.82. So as we break above that downtrending line of resistance, we're going to see the value of Theta start to head up towards these horizontal lines of resistance. And again, you guys, this area right here is about $1.60. So that's the first area that we need to break clearly above here on Theta. And of course, the downward trending line of resistance as well, associated with the falling wedge. If we can get above those two levels, it's really green light go. And I definitely think we're going to easily break above this level and then this level as well. Now, if we get above this level, then we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the big picture here with Theta. So let's talk about that. Let's go to the weekly candlesticks here, and we'll delete all the drawing tools on this coin so we can look at it in the bigger time frame and really check out what's happening here. So in the bigger time frame, this right here is a mini version. It's called an echo cycle of this. So we have a macro cycle up here where the value of Theta went from being worth about 10 cents all the way to about $15 and all the way back down. So that's a complete market cycle. And in that market cycle, you can also see that big falling wedge that we are just looking at with Theta on the smaller time frame. Now, once we broke out of the resistance of that wedge, you can see the market went sideways, but then it started to pick back up and started to break out. Sometimes when you break out of a wedge, it takes a minute before you see the breakout really come to fruition. That's what we see here with Theta token. You can see that once we broke out, it did take a minute to see the fruition of that breakout, but that usually only happens in the bigger time frames. On the smaller time frames, they generally have a very vertical breakout and they don't generally take very long to see the fruition of the breakout of that pattern. But really, to be honest with you, this right here is just a bigger version of this. I expect a bigger, more quick, more violent sort of breakout in the shorter time frame where we start to push up towards those resistance levels that we were discussing, whereas this bigger one took a little time before we started to see the fruition of the breakout. But either way, it's a fractal of the same thing. And also, this bigger one hasn't even fully played out yet. We've only started to see a little bit of the bigger breakout. That move from about 68 cents up to about $4 here, from here up to here on Theta, was the beginning of the fruition of this breakout. But in order for it to really take full effect, that bigger falling wedge is actually suggesting a bigger breakout in a bigger time frame here on the weekly time frame. And now we can talk a little bit about the Elliott waves that are going on here. So we have wave 1, wave 2, and we're expecting a wave 3, 4, and 5 coming on Theta. And that is because of that bigger falling wedge. We haven't even fully seen the breakout that's going to come as the bullish breakout that's going to come as a result of this falling wedge breakout. We've only seen the first Elliott wave. So that 3 wave is definitely coming. And by the way, the minimum target for the wave 3 here on this Elliott cycle is the 1618. So I have it drawn way up there, but our minimum target is $6.08. Now, a lot of times if you get a very vertical breakout, they can go to the 2618. I've seen this happen before, where the wave 3 actually goes to the 2618 rather than the 1618. But either way, it really doesn't matter. We're going to have a big breakout here. I think we're going to have a big breakout, and the people that are bearish are really going to be surprised when we go right up to that Fibonacci relationship of the 1618 level. Also, that 5th wave in crypto is often extended. So that means that we could get an extended 5th, which could take us not only to the old all-time high, but even potentially above it and really go parabolic in price discovery. Now, it's not going to go up forever. I don't want you guys to think that Theta is just going to go up forever, but I do think we could get a very violent bullish reaction on the upside as a result of all of the stuff that we're seeing in the charts, all of the volume, and really this is a really good coin and setup for a lot of different reasons. But also, when you get a big violent bear market, if that coin has real demand, you're going to see a violent bull market back in the other direction. Just like how we had a big violent correction on Bitcoin recently, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video, so make sure you stay clear till the end. But you guys, we had a violent correction, a pullback on Bitcoin, and that kind of a violent pullback where it's really sharp, really pronounced, and quick, you often get a violent recovery back on the upside. And that happens in every time frame within markets. That's why, people say buy blood in the streets. Buy when people are fearful, because that's where you're going to make your money. That's where you're going to print money in the markets. So yeah, I really believe that we're going to have a big wave 3 here on Theta token, and really a 5th wave as well that could be extended. It's most often extended in crypto. And yeah, we could really have a lot of bullishness over the next, definitely, I think the end of this year is going to be bullish throughout 2024. And I think 2025 could be very bullish. And we could be bullish for a couple of years here as a result of this pattern. And by the way, we did have a big ABC correction right here on Theta, big ABC correction down. And if you don't understand Elliott wave cycles and Elliott wave theory and the way market cycles work in human psychology, it can be difficult to see what's coming before it happens. If you do understand this stuff, then you have just an insane level of confidence in what's going to come in the market because you've seen this before and you know what it is. So over here on the left, we have Theta token, and over here on the right, we have Ethereum, my bad. We have Ethereum over here. And it's the exact same ABC correction, the exact same violent correction on the downside with sideways consolidation in the middle before a big vertical breakout to a new all-time high. Now, Ethereum did not go up forever. It broke out and then had a big correction. So I'm not suggesting that Theta is just going to go to the moon infinitely and indefinitely, but I do think we will have a big vertical breakout. I think the end of this year is going to finish off very strong. I think the next year, potentially 2 years, we could have a very, very vertical breakout here on Theta, taking us to a new all-time high, just exactly like what happened to Ethereum. So let's remove all the drawing tools and just isolate the fractal, the human psychology here, and take a look at that market cycle. It's the same thing. Both of them are traced over 90% on the downside, and both of them had sideways accumulation. Both of them have high volume, high demand, real world use cases, and a lot of reasons to invest in them. And a lot of people didn't believe Ethereum was going to recover right here, but I was telling everybody, yo, Ethereum's going to break out, people. Don't sell down here. Don't sell. Buy the dip. And that's exactly what it did. And I knew it was going to do that. Really just because of market cycles, human psychology, Elliott waves, Fibonacci, all the stuff that I've learned over the years gave me such a high degree of confidence in the structure in the market that we were going to have that type of a breakout where we really go vertical on Ethereum. And we did. And it was a lot of fun. And we made a lot of money. And it was kind of a party. And I think we're going to have the same thing all over again here with Theta token in the bigger time frame. So if you can really set yourself apart from the crowd and buy the dip and invest where other people are fearful, where other people are skeptical, you can print money in the markets. Yeah, you do have to be patient, but we're getting to that point where it's not really going to be that much more waiting. You know, I think we're going to start to pick up. We could finish off this year strong. And as we build momentum, we're really going to take off very vertically here with Theta and go to a new all-time high. So that gives you guys an idea of what I'm thinking here with Theta token. All right. Again, of course, I have to say it, the market can do whatever it wants to do, blah, blah, blah. But you guys, these patterns work. If you learn this stuff, if you study the cycles, if you learn how to trade the markets, you can have that same kind of confidence in the markets, in the setups that allow you to print money in this market on a regular basis. So that's my view on Theta. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Bitcoin, because I know a lot of you guys are wondering, Dallin, what's coming for Bitcoin? And if you follow me on Twitter or you follow me on, even on YouTube, I post free stuff. And make sure you guys check out my email list. Go to my website and sign up for my email list, completely free. I do free market updates. I just did the first one I've ever done this week through email, completely free. And also, again, as you guys know, the Discord is another great place to look for that. But if you follow me on any of the places that I talk about the markets, you know I've been bullish on Bitcoin since this low right here. When we had this big kind of violent pullback right here and a lot of people started to freak out, I remained bullish. And the reason is because of the gold fractal, because Bitcoin is doing the exact same thing that gold did back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I'm not talking about very long ago. It's really, they're following each other very closely. But yeah, previously, historically on gold, we do have the exact same market structure that Bitcoin has. And by the way, gold trades like Bitcoin because Bitcoin is digital gold and Bitcoin trades like gold. So it's kind of a vice versa sort of thing here. We have BTC over here and we have gold right here. And you can see that both of them did this huge rounded bottom after they had made their old all-time high. So here's the old all-time high on Bitcoin. Here's the old all-time high on gold. You can see this huge rounded bottom forms and you start to recover out of that. And as we break above the old all-time high, we have to come back to reality a little bit here. Not back to reality like 30K, like all the perma bears are calling for. I don't see it in the charts. I think we already came back to reality just like gold did right here. And we're getting ready to break bullish back up above the old all-time high on Bitcoin, which is, first of all, 68K. And then our new all-time high right here at 72 and really start to take off. Because if you don't know, that's exactly what gold did. And it's still mooning. It's still just going vertical right now. Why? Because that's a perfect cup and handle pattern. Let's remove all the drawing tools and just talk about patterns for a second. Look how perfect that cup and handle on gold was. If that's not a perfect cup and handle pattern, I don't know what is. And that's a perfect cup and handle on Bitcoin too. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are really bearish right now. And I'm here to tell you that just like back at the beginning of the summer when everybody was bullish up here, and I was saying, hey, you guys, we're getting too bullish. I really think people are too bearish down here. It's the same thing that happens every time. People get too excited and they get too fearful. And they expect another big low, so they try to take out of the markets. They get scared, and they try to take their money out because of risk aversion. They're trying to avoid risk. That's not what risk management is, right? Risk management is position sizing and not going all in on coins. It's not selling because you're scared. That's not what risk management is, all right? So a lot of people are risk averse, and they sell into the dip expecting a bigger correction to come right where all the big players and all the whales are picking it up dirt cheap and smiling while they do it. Knowing it's not going to go down to 30K, or it's very, very unlikely that it does. So that's my view on Bitcoin. I do think we will break out to a new all-time high, and that's my view on Theta token. Hopefully you found this video valuable. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. As always, stay profitable out there.